Good morning there, friends and neighbors. Bobby here today. Hey folks, today we have a 2005 Buick Rendezvous with a 3.4 liter engine in it. Now what ails this car today is a starter. The starter has gone bad on this vehicle. Last evening we actually tested the battery. Battery tests good, but our starter is definitely drawing a lot of current. So we're going to replace that today. So far what we've done, we've got the vehicle up on some jack stands, so let's crawl underneath and take a look. Okay friends, we're underneath the vehicle here, and what I'm got the camera aimed on here is the starter. There's a little black cover that we're going to have to remove with a 10mm to where we can access the two bolts that hold the starter in place. There's also two wires that we will have to remove from the starter. So let's go and take a look at the new starter and I can explain this better. Okay, here's our new starter, and as you can see, there's two places where two long bolts will actually go in to hold it to the engine block, okay? Those are the two. We'll have to remove a little plastic cover to where we can access the heads of these two bolts. So we'll have to remove those, and then over here on the solenoid we will be disconnecting our main wire from the battery, and also there'll be a smaller wire that will disconnect also, and that'll be the wire that energizes the solenoid. So the first thing that we want to do now before we start disconnecting anything underneath is we'll go ahead and disconnect our battery. We'll want to take loose the negative terminal of the battery. Okay, here's our battery down here on this side here, and it's kind of hard to get to, so I probably won't film actually disconnecting, but we'll take our 8mm wrench here and we will disconnect our side post terminal on the negative side of the battery. Okay folks, now that we have the old starter off, I can show you all the tools that you're going to need to do this job. Now remember, the first thing that I did was disconnect the battery, and I used an 8mm ratchet wrench. That made life a little bit easier. Here's your two starter bolts. One of them's longer than the other one, and you can kind of tell which one goes where. You will need a 15mm socket, maybe like a 1-foot extension, and a ratchet. You can loosen them and install them with that. There's a little cover that you take off first, and it's a 10mm bolt that holds that on. That's real easy. Move that out of the way. And to get to your bolts here on the starter, on the solenoid, you will need a 8mm socket to remove the solenoid wire, and a 13mm to remove the power wire going to the starter. And that's about it, friends. That's all the tools that you need. I'm going to crawl back underneath here and put this new starter on and get this job finished. Now friends, we've got our new starter installed underneath the vehicle. Everything's back in place like it should be. Let's go up top and connect that battery back up and see if this sucker works. Okay friends, hey, we got it all back together. Let's see if this thing will start. Helper, start the engine. Hey, I think we've done a good job. Say hey to everybody, Helper.
He's a car doctor.
Tell him to subscribe.
And please subscribe.
To who?
To MintHillBilly.